But I'd say give it 12 months max. I see that happening.
Yeah, we're definitely becoming a little bit more on code. It's just about right now. What I'm realizing is that we have the events, and then the events happen, and people are like, "Oh my God, if I knew."
Where you guys want to sit?
Oh well, yeah. Where you want to sit? I was gonna sit here, but where do you need us to sit?
Well, you look at
Yeah,
that
I
and let
see
me
that.
know.
All right, so
It doesn't mean you can sit wherever, but wherever.
yes, you comfortable. So whatever seat you want, and then I'll adjust. Don't let that coat be in that food.
Yeah, I was just gonna sit here.
Oh, that's why. All I gotta do is switch this right here. We're good to go.
Ready, boys?
Go ahead and do me a favor and close that door, please.
Okay.
Come on. This is WWE Superstar.
Anything that happened in the city that we need to acknowledge.
Take time.
Because
Not that I'm aware of.
this is the first show we've done since November. So this is the first show in 3 months. So we didn't have a whole impeachment happen. I had a tragedy with Kobe, Gianna, and everyone else.
Really?
You thought I was playing? Oh, so we'll let you do it.
No.
You understand for that? Oh,
No, it's not working right. So we'll do this.
ooh, that's called a wing and a prayer. That's it. Oh. It doesn't have enough. Wait a minute. How much time do I have?
Probably should learn more about this YouTube studio.
Man,
Is that a different site, or is it directly on YouTube?
should be directly on YouTube. My
Bear with me
thing,
for a quick second.
I got a thing that I'm learning to do is find the people that I trust to do what I don't have time to do. Because I would love to have like a whole digital media team. Because I literally do not have the time to do it. And like, if that mess around, we had a team that could be a collective. It's a brother named Shaquan Brown. I'm working to. He's working to get to the point where he essentially has his own thing, and then we just have.
Stand by. There, you're not playing. What's going on here? Oh, okay.
I need you right now as well.
Do I need to move this back a little bit?
No, you can. I was just trying to make sure he's in the shot.
I mean, this one.
Oh, if you want to. Let's see. Grab that one. Oh, which one's going to read?
Do me a favor up there where it says new program log. Grab the one that says. Just grab the whole batch,
Uh-huh.
and I can tell you in a second.
And that's 6 of them. Okay.
Okay, so when you read this, it'll say live read. So those are going to be the two. So film bar on page 1, and then that'll be your second one at that time.
All right, so those are the only ones that I read
Mm-hmm.
of the 6. Okay. So film bar comes first, format second. Film bar is at 5:20, so we got time.
I suppose you could wish the state a happy anniversary or birthday or whatever. Since it also falls on Valentine's Day.
It does, don't it? So it'll be what, 200 and no 100.
100.
103?
Well, 1912.
12,
to
108.
108.
So 108.
You might want to remind your guests about what a call to action is and not to do that. You might want to let your guests know what a call to action is and not to do that.
Who? No, who did it?
No, just in general.
Just what a call. Just let him know what a call to action
Yeah,
is.
so that he doesn't do it, because if he does it, I'm responsible.
Oh, so don't make a call to action is what he's saying.
Like,
I'm like, why are you telling me he right here?
don't
Because I'm getting stuff ready for the show.
Okay, well,
don't go beat up somebody.
don't be like, hey, get on the show. Hey, if y'all listening out here, everybody go out and do. Okay, can it be? It can't be a positive call to action.
No, call to action is not allowed at all.
All right, so can't tell anybody go to a website. Like call to action. That's a very broad. I don't want to.
Okay, that was not reviewed with you? Okay, we'll do that after the show. A call to action is basically a commercial on the air. Don't do that.
Okay.
That'll piss me off, and then I have people calling me saying, why did you allow that money? And then I have to deal with all sorts of nonsense. So basically, if you want to encourage somebody to engage with you or do something, that engages with your project or your organization, direct them to a website or social media. Okay. You wouldn't tell them, like, for instance, if you were doing a fundraiser and you were selling tickets, cop the tickets. They only $5. You can't do that. Okay. We're not a commercial station. That's all.
Just what I do, but don't come do it. Just what we do. And
no. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is, don't encourage.
For more information, check us out.
Right.
Okay. And just
can I say, sign up for post notifications at this?
That's fine.
Okay.
That's okay. Yeah, it's just the whole. It's the dumbest shit in the world. To be honest with you, it's
you need to come here and support us now,
but don't do it.
It makes sense to keep it broad,
All right. So when I'm mentioning the 5 events the 5 things that are going on in the city, is that just for more information, visit and then just get the website?
Yes.
Okay.
That should look fine. I was just gonna move something out the way, but that's okay. That look okay?
Mm-hmm.
They can't see you though.
I mean, it was okay.
Well,
that's better.
Before it goes off the.
Yeah, don't.
So when did they make that change? That's weird.
Which one?
The one where you can only do it like this.
To my knowledge, it had been like that on Facebook.
You've been able to do it like that.
Yeah.
All right, stand by.
All right, you got the Sounds of Blackness joint to switch it or no?
Say it again.
Optimistic by Sounds of Blackness. Music.
You want that one? Okay.
Yeah, that's the Cuban music until.
Okay.
Or not.
No, we can do that.
I mean, no, because you got that on already, so I'm cool with that. Unless
you want the original version?
Yes.
Okay.
Not August Brown and Brandy, although I love Brandy.
Peace. Peace, everybody. Oh, cool. Okay. I can finish with the headphones.
Yeah, man. All right, happy Sunday afternoon, and welcome to the Culture Spot. This is your host, Truth Be Told. Happy New Year! This is the first show of 2020, so happy 2020. Happy Black History Month. Happy impeachment for those who are supporting that as well. Also, a lot has happened in the last 3 months since we've been on the air. Recently, we had a tragedy with Kobe Bryant, Gigi Bryant, and 7 others who tragically lost their lives in a helicopter crash. So for those of you who are going through it, who are impacted by it in some way or some form by any of the families, we want to just give our condolences and well wishes, and our heart goes out to everyone. For everyone else, a lot of people said that this year started off pretty rough for them. I've been blessed to not feel that way, so I hope that if your 2020 has gotten off to a rough start, that it gets off to a better start. Whatever it is that you want to do, like this is the time, this is the year. Everyone says new year, new you. Cool. Do that this year. Change your habits. Let's make this the amazing year that we want it to be. And speaking of amazing, we have some amazing things that are going on. Every time we start to show off, whether you're a new listener, a first time listener, or you listen all the time, because the first two are the same thing. We always go with 5 different things that are going on throughout the city. So want to let you know what's happening. Everybody's always talking about there's nothing going on in the Valley. We beg to differ. So if you need some things to go on between now for your Black History Month, I want to invite you out to the AAC game. It's going to be at the Talking State Resort Arena Saturday, March 7th, sponsored by Bravo and Desert Soul Media. We're going to have a lot of different artists and entertainers coming out, playing ball, embarrassing ourselves, all for a good cause. For more information, please visit culturephx.com. We also have the I Am Root Collective. They have a week full of events going on. They have a writer's workshop. They have a music event going on. They have just a love and soul event. All that information, search I Am Root for information on that. But that week kicks off next Monday, February 18th. City of Phoenix actually has a celebration of culture event going on at the Orpheum Theater, February 27th. It is absolutely free. Bring your family out. You're going to see some amazing acts, some amazing musicians, some spoken word from yours truly as well. We're also going to have a dynamic keynote speaker that you are not going to want to miss. That is Thursday, February 27th. Absolutely free at the Orpheum. Just Google Orpheum for the celebration of culture event. You'll find the details on that. And also, we have Cash Mob events going on. There are a multitude of events, and the reason I am not going to tell you about them right now is because that ties us into our guest this afternoon. I want you all to show some love. Please show a little bit of love for my man Fresh Maker from Cash Mob in the building. Fresh, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. Peace.
Man, thanks for coming through. Greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So we've already started talking about that. There are some things that are going on, and you guys have been doing quite a lot in the community. Before we get to the events, for those who don't know, first off, tell us a little something about yourself.
I'm affectionately known as Fresh Maker in the Valley, primarily a DJ, but definitely philanthropist, I guess I could say activist and business owner.
Absolutely. So, if you feel it and you do it, absolutely say it. You are all of that. And just we were talking about it off air. You're originally from Chicago.
Yes.
So you're a transplant like most of us.
Absolutely.
So cool. What brought you to the desert?
Well, I was still in high school when we came, and my parents were actually looking for just a place to retire. Mm-hmm. And by the time they got here, they realized, it's not a bad place to continue to, make some capital. So we moved to a completely different area from what I'm used to in Chicago. And it was quite the culture shock, but it definitely, helped to build some character to be able to move in different kinds of rooms. So at first I did not appreciate it, but now I appreciate it a little bit more. It's basically being able to have multiple different kinds of conversations and be able to use different vernaculars definitely helps you to be able to, be a little bit more universal.
Yeah.
As long as you find yourself and be able to stand firm, you can still stand in all those rooms.
True indeed. And like different words do get you in different rooms. And being out here, because it is a mix of so many different people and so many different collectives and cultures, it helps to build that. It definitely allows you to sharpen your sword. So after some years of sword sharpening, you've been doing your thing, been DJing and the philanthropy of it, and you started collaborating or started working with Cash Mob. For those who don't know what Cash Mob is, explain what Cash Mob is.
Cash Mob is an event that is basically under the Phoenix Local Organizing Committee. And so basically with that, it's basically a call to community to lift up our community. And we do so through exclusive power in our finance. And so we realized that in order to, kind of survive in a city and to have your culture, you got to be able to fund your culture.
Absolutely.
So, and a part of that is through business. And if we have Black businesses out here, we notice that for quite a bit of them, they may not necessarily have the capital to keep the lights on all the time. Mm-hmm. And the first 2 to 3 years are very, very tough. So what we try to do with the Cash Mob event is basically have a just a widespread call for as many people as possible to come to one business, whether it be new or struggling. And that way we fund as many dollars or bring as many dollars to that business at once. So that way they can have funds to either hire another employee to make things easier, or to basically just have a bankroll to take care of all bills whenever they come about. There's nothing worse than paying, your lease or your rent or the light bill, and then waiting the next 29 days for it to roll back around, as opposed to already being prepared for it. So basically, we're just trying to fortify our businesses so they can stay around longer, and then eventually be able to give back to the community, whether it be in the form of scholarships or charity, or just, food during the holidays for some of us that are struggling. So
That's great, man. That's incredible. And the fact that you guys are working on what I call strategic cooperative economics, because
Yes.
you're looking at where you're putting your money, and it's definitely important to put it into Black businesses, because so often we don't get that support.
Right.
So the fact that you guys are doing, like, what are some of the businesses that you've been able to partner with?
Well, what I would say is we do another event, and it's called the Buy Black Marketplace, the Archwood Exchange Buy Black Marketplace. The significance of the title is Archer and Greenwood is the main intersection of Tulsa, Oklahoma, where Black Wall Street was. So it's pretty symbolic, but in that particular event, there have been quite a few businesses or pop-ups that have been able to grow into brick and mortars, or to be able to just thrive in their own places. So one of the more popular ones, I would say, is Purple Girls Popcorn, which is best popcorn I've ever tasted. They got like 150 flavors, from like apple to jalapeno cheeseburger. It's insane. But they were at the Archwood Exchange for quite a while, maybe about a year. But now they have a brick and mortar, and they also have a main client in, I believe it is the Arizona Diamondbacks. So it just goes to show that over a little bit of farming and fortifying, we can definitely grow just like everybody else. And most of the time, our businesses, have more blood, sweat, and tears in it, because we have to go over some more hurdles. So
Absolutely. No, I need to apologize, because I'm up here. I'm trying not to look you in the eyes while I'm licking my lips, but you're talking about popcorn and popcorn thing. So it's, bro, I'm I'm just saying, I like popcorn.
it's delicious.
You talking about
It's
150 flavors?
I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's an astronomical amount.
If it's more than 10, you caught my attention. I'm just, man.
And I'm from Chicago, but I'll definitely go on record and say, if somebody said gun in my head or island and you can only have one, I would take Purple Girls over Garrett's.
See, and being from Chicago, that is a bold statement.
Yeah.
And I'm a wholeheartedly believe you,
Yes.
because you from Chicago.
Yes.
So yeah, I absolutely need to make sure I'm supporting them, and you all need to, if you're listening, make sure that you're doing the same as well.
Yeah.
But it's like, so how many companies would you say that you all have been able to assist, even through Archwood? Which, by the way, we shout out. This is only our third show, but every time we do it, we shout out Archwood because of what you guys have going on. And so thank you, because this is the first time we had somebody on the show who's directly working with Archwood. Thank you for doing what you're doing, because it is so vitally important. And as you know, all the other companies that you've been working with already know that. But about how many would you say?
I would say at least about 12 to 15. It is for us, basically the logistics of it. It can be a little difficult, but we try to do it like once a month, and just 1 week in a month to be able to bring everybody from the team together, and then everybody that we can bring that's in our collective networks together. And our businesses, especially in the Valley, seem to be, pretty spread out,
Right.
but we try to make sure that the distance doesn't stop us. And so I remember maybe one of the last ones that I was able to attend was a nail salon all the way in Gilbert. And I was like, we in Gilbert?
Really?
But it was like, hey, you know what? Since we're going. And we went over there and got some nail appointments just to make sure folks understood that they're all the way out there. You don't have to travel too far. We're everywhere that you want to be, and we can make sure to provide you what you need. Valley Wings as well on the north side of the valley. Papa Joe's in Glendale as well. So we try to cover as many pieces and parts of the city that we can, and just make sure to shout out everybody and create the relationship that says, not only are you a business owner and we're going to come to you, but try to add on to our group with that business. So when we do another Cash Mob, you're a business owner, but it'd be nice if you come on with us to this next business, and maybe you guys can trade, you can barter, but we can continue to make that circle larger and tighter in order for us to uplift and fortify.
Absolutely, and that's the thing that I love what you all are doing, because there's so much work that needs to be done as far as just connecting the community, because it is so spread out.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I feel personally is that there are so many things that need to be done. Everybody shouldn't be telling everybody else how to do it. They just need to do their part in what they're doing. And for years, like, you guys have been doing your part with that. And so I know it's been, an amazing thing. And just, again, I'm just such a huge fan of anybody that feeds into the community doing what you all are doing. So I absolutely salute you. We got to take a break in a minute, but before we get to that break, what is the next Cash Mob that you all will be doing?
The next Cash Mob that we're going to have going on is going to be this upcoming Sunday, and it's going to be at the Grassroots Bookstore. And basically, Grassroots Bookstore is inside of AfroSoul Marketplace. And it's okay to give the address?
Is it okay? It's okay.
The
Yes.
address is 1145 East Washington. And basically, at the Grassroots Bookstore, we're going to have a multitude of empowering books, educational books. And also, it has a co-op space for you to be able to work just like Starbucks, so it's our version of Starbucks. So instead of going there, you can get teas, cookies, and education all in one spot with your folks.
That's what I'm talking about. We'll get back to more of that in just a moment, but for now, I hear Prince playing in the background, and we don't talk on Prince playing, so.
Understood.
So I guess I do have to talk over. Somebody told me, because I gotta get paid. Anyway, support for Radio Phoenix comes from the Film Bar Theater in Phoenix, where Surfer Teen Confronts Fear, a movie of faith, fear, and redemption that has mesmerized audiences around the globe, is currently playing. For more information and tickets available, please visit filmbarphx.com. And now, for Prince. This man got me on here talking over Prince. You don't talk over Prince. It's a rule. It's rule number 17-B/C. Yeah, that. But nah, man. Hey, thank you again for coming in.
Man,
and
thank y'all for having me.
Oh, bro, anytime. But it's a multitude of shows that are going on here. But what y'all are doing, I've been, a lot of artists are activists. A lot of creatives are activists. You're a DJ, so you're both. You're an artist and you're a creative. And I love what I'm seeing as far as everyone who's involved doing something for the community. And I think we're now just getting at the point is okay, what are you doing? Okay, what are you doing? I always talk about the Black Godfather, Clarence Avant. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What he was doing is essentially the blueprint. We find out what it is that we want to do, connect other people. And you ain't even got to like everybody. Everybody ain't going to be doing the same thing you're doing. We're all just trying to move in the same direction.
I think that's a really big statement. You ain't got to like everybody.
It's a huge one because I do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's there are people who I work with often who,
right.
If it was a misunderstanding and we was alone, but it's bigger than ego.
Yeah.
And I think we're at a time now where people are finally starting to see that. Some reluctantly, but it's even if I don't like you for whatever reason, it's not whatever that reason is. It's not bigger than the culture.
Right. We have a similar objective, and if you want to be the man at the top of the mountain when it's over, that's on you.
I call it being the tallest kid in kindergarten class. Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. Just back into it.
Right. Since last time you got mad because we cut Prince off.
Yes, I was. And y'all was too, because y'all was telling me. So tell him. It ain't just me. This is the Amen and joint. How long is this before the next one?
This is the short segment. This is the B segment, so 8 minutes.
Okay, so 8 minutes. Okay. So yeah, 8 minutes.
We're just saying the same thing, sorry.
Yeah. 8 minutes and then the woman. Now, just so we know, are we doing the whole song? I'm
waiting for you.
And like, how far are we going with it?
Put on your headphones.
I can hear it. Like, no, I'm asking because if you want to, we can do the whole thing.
Is that for me to turn on your mic?
I mean, it's not the okay.
Huh?
I didn't know I was winning. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna open your mic. Don't say anything until you're ready.
All right, y'all. That's Purple Rain by the one and only.
Oh. Windows Cry.
I'm sorry, Windows Cry. We over here gigging. I'm sorry. I'm over here acting a fool. We actually have the show going live on YouTube as well, and you probably saw me acting a fool, lip syncing to When Doves Cry, and I was acting so much of a fool, I forgot the name of the song. So back to what we were saying.
Yes.
I know you mentioned the Cash Mob event, but I know that there are also other events that you guys have going on. So what are a couple of those events that you have?
So basically, in the AfroSoul Marketplace, it's kind of like our hub, like our co-op, where we try to run multiple businesses out of one space as well as multiple events. So one of the other things that we wanted to do is a village night. And so village night is basically where we will have a game night, but also we'll go over some very important movies for the movement or empowerment. And then after we'll have a Q&A to kind of have the iron sharpen iron. So other folks can come up with other ideas that may spark their business. It may spark their mentality about empowerment and things that they can do to further advance it. Other than that, like I said, as far as Beyond the Game Night is movies in the movement. And recently we just checked out the Fred Hampton documentary. And yeah, that was pretty powerful. Room full of folks with different age ranges, even on down to like 10 years old. And that was extremely important because I feel really as far as my generation, which is like right smack dab in the middle, like 83, you're not a 70s baby, but you're surely not a 90s baby. We are the most responsible bridge. And being able to be in that room with somebody that's 10 years old, that's asking questions about things that only my parents and grandparents were able to tell me, and being able to transfer that to them is astronomical because it helps to build a foundation that can't be taken over by the mainstream. So that is one of the more important events that we have at AfroSoul. So as far as the next movie event, I believe that's going to be on the 27th. And the Village Night, the next Village Night at the Grassroots Bookstore, which is inside of AfroSoul Marketplace, 1145 East Washington, is going to be on the 22nd. And of course, you know, the Cash Mob that we mentioned earlier is going to be on the 16th. And that'll also be a Grassroots Bookstore. And that is basically where we're just going to showcase books, let you know that you can work in there as a co-op and just encourage people to come on down and support that. Instead of just going to Starbucks, we got everything that you would ever have there, but just better music
and more Black people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like another thing with the location of the place, I know that that's in the East Lake Park area.
Yes.
You know, with that being historically Black, I'm assuming that place was selected on purpose.
Oh, definitely, definitely. This is something that we've tried multiple times as far as being able to have a co-op or going into another co-op and just kind of taking it over, so to speak. But it was so much better for us to have our own.
Absolutely.
And not only does that encourage, you know, more folks to come out, but it encourages more folks to open their own.
Indeed.
And so that's really what the movement is constantly about, is fortifying and uplifting. And so by having everything in the AfroSoul marketplace, it allows us to be able to do that.
That's an awesome thing, and like people need to know about that, which is why we have you here. So thank you for spreading the word. And that it's we're in the midst of that movement, and things are going on. You guys have definitely been at the forefront of that.
Absolutely.
And in addition, I know you're mentioning DJing, like some of your work outside of the very important activist work that you're doing and the very important community work that you're doing. DJ, I would say music is just as important, because music, music that's mood. Music is like, music has been used to champion movements.
Absolutely.
And so, like, how did you get into DJing?
Well, I actually I was here through high school, decided that, you know what, I want to be around more Black people and a little bit more culture. So I followed a friend out to Florida A&M University.
Rattlers?
And immediately got into working at the radio station as an intern, and that got me into the clubs, and I experienced something in the clubs that I had never experienced before.
Right.
And it was just a vibe that kind of took me over, and I was like, I have to be able to witness this in Arizona, or help to bring this back to Arizona. And once I came back, I had a friend who already was a DJ, and I said, I need you to mix these songs for me so I can show everybody else in Phoenix. And he was like, no, but I'll show you how to do it. And that was pretty pivotal to be able to get me started.
Dang, that's what's up, man. Yeah, we got to talk about the HBC experience a little bit more, but for now, I have Breathe Again in the background. But before we get to that, I want to let you guys know about. Oh, so I'm right? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for letting me know I was right this time. On to the music. Y'all stay tuned.
So that second one you only do right before you go into Jennifer's segment.
Okay. So, hold on. Where's the sheet again? I believe you was going to take a look.
Just so you guys know, we are at Phoenix Center for the Arts, and
so we forgot to tell you. So at the bottom of the hour now, we do the news segment from Africa Link from DW.
Okay.
So
that's the one now, right?
So that goes a minute later than our normal break time from the last time you were here.
Okay.
So that'll be like a 3.5 minute, and then we'll come back to it.
All right. So there's a 12-minute segment, and then the read, and then.
So, but then we got to also keep in mind that Jennifer's piece goes over an extra minute and a half.
Hers does?
Yeah, hers is 13:30 instead of 12.
Okay.
So
that'll still be around the last 2 minutes.
So if we're ending at 59,
it'll be right around that time.
So let's count back. 49 is 10. Okay, actually, we might be all right. We might be all right.
Experience one another in game nights, in movies, all these kinds of things. So it's important for us to follow the right pages and know when things are going on. So I'll put it here in the comments. It's at PHXLOC. Make sure to follow them and turn on post notifications so that
I don't know. We might just stop doing the Facebook Live. But I kind of like the YouTube because you can see everything.
each other outside.
And I think at some point they can actually. There's a feature here where they can actually chat with you during the live show. We just have to get more people to.
We can. I'm cool with doing both.
Things that I like and love.
I don't know. Is there another one that we could do other than Facebook for the live show?
If there's an IG page, we can do IG.
We might. If not, we can create one.
For this, we can use Culture PHX's IG page and just do the whole show. So,
is that set up where it's like Facebook where you can share the video with another IG
I should
page?
be able to, yeah.
Okay, because if we create a Soulstar Live one, then you can set it up and then it's just okay.
Absolutely.
Lotions.
Oh,
We need to get massages there. So it's extremely important to participate in the Archwood Exchange and AfroSoul.
all right. Let's see. What you in the mood for
I
next?
just want to make sure y'all follow PHX.
I play Isley Brothers, Prince, and Tony.
Notifications.
Something along the same vein, I guess. Keep it going.
Try to show. Okay.
Anybody coming to
I
town?
bet. I'll definitely go ahead and give you a hit after the show.
Like,
Appreciate you for letting me know.
Good question.
No, really. Thank you, brother. Peace. My wife, Emily, good night for the
I honestly don't know.
all right,
I don't know what that means.
I'll try Maxwell since he's kind of in that vein. Let's see.
Oh, shoot, there was a lot of people that came into this line. Wow.
Word.
That's what's up. Thanks, y'all. I only planned on like 4 people being here, but I appreciate you. So where can they find you on?
As far as Radio Phoenix,
Yeah.
it's radiophoenix.org, right?
Mhm.
All right, so radiophoenix.org. Make sure. And how often is the show?
This show's Culture Spot is every second Sunday.
Culture Spot every second Sunday. So
But they can listen every week at this time because we
Absolutely.
do.
There's a multitude of shows.
Okay.
Different play.
What he does is What he does is part of a Black public affairs show called Soul Star Live. So we're here every Sunday at 5.
every Sunday.
Yes, sir.
But
said
he controls it once a
Soul
month.
Star Live or
But
Black
Soul-
Soul Star Live?
Soul
Star
Star
Live.
Live.
Soul Star Live every Sunday.
Why is that so loud? Jesus.
Soul Star Live. Okay,
Yes, sir.
that's what's up. I'm gonna tap that in. Y'all, make sure y'all go there. Soul Star Live every Sunday at what time?
5 o'clock.
From 5 to 6.
Okay.
And then after this show, we carry a show out of Dallas called The Griot Nation, which a lot of people like too.
I never heard back from him. But
Radio PHX or Radio
it
Phoenix?
was real.
Radio Phoenix. If they go to the TuneIn app, they can just search for Radio Phoenix.
Okay.
Just tell them, make sure it's the one actually here, because there's one in Zambia.
A Radio Phoenix in Zambia?
Really?
Word.
Yeah,
That's what's up. They speak English or
yeah.
what?
And we get confused with them all the time. We get people that hit us up from Africa, and they're like thinking that we're their Radio Phoenix, and we're like, no. And then they just
Oh.
listen to us anyway.
That's what's up,
That's
though.
what's up. I
That's
didn't
dope.
even know that. So now that I know we have listeners in the motherland,
Yeah.
what up?
Yeah. That's what's up. I wonder how Phoenix.
All right,
Man.
ready to go
All
back?
right, so now you said you went to you went to FAM?
No, I didn't go. I couldn't afford to go.
I feel you.
So, but I did get to Tallahassee,
Mhm.
and I went to Tallahassee Community College, and I participated as if I went
Oh,
to FAM.
yeah. So yes. So you which is to say you had the HBCU experience.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, I worked all their football games for the
Yes.
radio station.
Yes.
I witnessed the, hey, we here for the game,
Mm-hmm.
but after halftime we gone.
Listen,
You know.
listen. Because
So-
yeah, I went to Southern.
Okay.
So yeah, we got let's talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Wait,
This is funny.
my father went to Grambling.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you've been to Bayou Classic?
No, my father.
Bruh.
No.
My
All right.
brother.
Remember, I said I couldn't afford to
bring
go
it
to
back on
FAM,
the air.
Let's
So
go.
I-
Let's go. Let's do it.
so I couldn't afford to go to them classics either.
Bro,
I was in there slanging Domino's pizzas while I was down.
You know what song this is? Or do I need to?
don't ever wonder. Ascension. And see, I'm going to use my ascension and rise above your pettiness right now.
Wow.
I just want to thank everyone who, on behalf of everyone who's listening, that you finally didn't cut off a whole Prince song after the first verse.
They're foolish.
Man, oh yeah, we ain't got no sense of it, none at all. Yeah, we gotta do this more often.
All right, I have to bring you back.
Come on. That was Ascension by Maxwell, and I'm using my ascension to rise above my programming director's pettiness for still clowning me for calling Doves Cry for rain. It's all good. Speaking of other things that we enjoy doing,
Yes.
we're talking about the HBCU experience. And
Yes.
you mentioned you were able to spend quite a bit of time around FAMU, and I was telling you I went to Southern University, Jags for life. But yeah, let's. How was your HBCU experience from what you were able to have as far as just being around with it?
I would say my HBCU experience was a magnificent struggle.
Mhm.
It was a magnificent struggle. It was the best time and the worst time all at the same time. I mean, the brokest that you could ever be. I mean, for me, the brokest I could ever be. Hiding out from the repo man. I would be at other people's houses when the repo man was coming for my car. And sometimes I would park my car backwards and just be in the apartment listening to the tow truck drive around.
Bruh.
Yeah. Delivering pizzas and watching folks look at me as they think about what kind of tip they would give me and jingle change in their pockets. But at the same time, I got to be around my folks. I got to witness the Marching 100,
Right.
the best band ever. Yeah,
in Florida, yes, absolutely.
The wonderful Joe Bullard. It was who was just so kind to me without even really, knowing me. I got to kind of get to know a little bit more about stage presence and how to handle a crowd. And I had to eat a lot of Papa John's pizza because that's all, the HBCUs, that's what you get.
Man, listen, like my time I spent at Southern University. First off, I can't let that band comment go by without shouting out the Human Jukebox. The best band with the dancing dolls under Dr. Isaac Greggs. The band that refused to be in Drumline because even on false films we don't lose. Like I gotta shout out my school one time.
I mean,
but also awesome. But as far as them struggles go, man, listen. I say freshman year, I was one of the few freshmen that actually had an apartment off campus. And when I say off campus, I mean I wasn't on the bluff at all. It was closer to the mall. Mm-hmm. But I still had to work. My job was at like the bingo hall or whatever, and I'm working at the popcorn stand. I'm making the drinks. And everything just and they want you to move quick. You gotta get the coffee right because don't be messing. I got my board. I gotta play my numbers. You need to hurry.
Yeah, you can't play around.
Man, I didn't realize how gangsta old folks was until then. Like no, that at a bingo hall, there's old folk gangster and then there's old folk bingo hall gangster.
Facts.
It's a new level I wasn't prepared for. And my granny played bingo growing up. I made the mistake of only going a couple times. When I got down there, I was cautious. Yeah, maybe I told you. But anyway, the whole thing with the HBCU experience is the reason I was asking about that, for better or for worse, I think it's part of having those experiences that make people want to that lead them in the direction that we tend to be in as artists and creatives and wanting to give back to the community. Yeah, because you really understand that pride you have in yourself and your people was just further ratcheted up once I was at a HBCU. Yeah. What was for you?
One of the dopest things that I witnessed was children that were, I wouldn't say molded to be drum majors, but they were dressing up as drum majors in the football games. Oh. Like a lot of times, some folks are bred to play football. Mm-hmm. Like out there, I saw many kids that were being pushed in that direction to be masters of instruments and understand how to lead gentlemen and ladies. And I thought that was one of the coolest things because it's like we have a culture, our children are embedded in this culture, and they already have a path and a dream at 5-6 years old. So there's no playing around. There is a focus, there's an objective, and they are moving towards that, which is one of the dopest things because it leaves no room or very little room for other hurdles to come into play. You understand where you want to go and you're just going there because that's what you like to do. And it's so beautiful to witness somebody have so much time ahead of them when they already know what they want to do. So the culture and just everybody fortifying one another was just a beautiful thing to see.
Indeed. Funny story. Last time I'm gonna take a shot at FAMU because I love my Rattler family and I got a lot of them. But one of my first memories as a freshman was the fifth quarter. Now they had a battle of the bands, but then they do the fifth quarter. Once the game's over, bands go back and forth. Southern and FAMU played 77 songs after halftime and after what they played in the stands. 77 songs going back and forth.
Not playing no games.
at all. And I think the only reason fam started to leave is because it was so daggone late. That's the only, but because bands can be as they are, the band began to play Never Can Say Goodbye as fam you were walking away. That was one of the sweetest moments, and man, just but not to take any jabs at fam. One of the reasons I wanted to talk about our experiences was to basically bring it back full circle to everything that's going on with Cash Mob and with the endeavors that you have going on in the community. It's essentially an extension of the HBCU family and that feeling and that vibe, like from the film nights to the game nights, that sense of camaraderie and community. And a lot of people are looking for that here.
Yes.
So, like the fact that you guys are doing that, you've already said what you're doing now. What's next? What's the next move?
Well, I think primarily what we want to do in a broad scale of things is we want to practice a form of powernomics. And that is basically where you're building 5 floors to be able to fortify yourself and make sure that your community can't be taken advantage of when it comes to things like gentrification. So once we are able to get more of a familiar feeling with everybody, everybody can begin to trust in the process, in the core group that wants to build. And in order to build, we need to make sure that we financially fortify. So we want to bring in even more groups of people into the local organizing committee that have the same mindset that we want to fortify and uplift our community. But first, here in Phoenix, we really need to actually build a nucleus. So once we get the nucleus, then we go ahead and spread out and begin to create more businesses in areas that we don't necessarily have business owners in.
Perfect. Now, for those of you, and I know it's a bunch of you who are interested, how can people reach you or to be able to help out or connect with you and to build?
For me personally, on Instagram primarily is what I use. It's just the DJ Fresh Maker. But the most important thing is the Phoenix Local Organizing Committee, which is at PHXLOC on Instagram. That's where you can get any and every event that you're looking for, some inspiration. But the most important thing is once you get on there on Instagram is to turn on post notifications. A lot of times, some of us may miss events, and we want to be able to make sure that we understand how to get events really early.
Perfect. Brother, listen, thank you for stopping by. Greatly appreciate you and coming through. For those of you who are wondering, this program is supported financially by the Womack Cocktail Lounge, 5749 North 7th Street in Phoenix. The Womack has dining, dancing, eclectic live bands, and vintage playlists. Open 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. daily. That is the Womack.us, the Womack on Facebook and Instagram.
Since you were talking about stepping and stuff.
Yeah. No, I was stopping because I knew time-wise we had to go. So I was like...
So I'm going to play this for a little bit, and then I'll have you throw it to...
Oh. I thought you were just going to start... Oh. I see what you're doing.
Appreciate everybody that joined us. Again, Soul Star Live every Sunday.
All right, you ready?
Oh, no. What's the name of the...
Alejandra...
No, the whole spill.
Culinary Travels with Jennifer Davis Page.
So make sure to listen in every single Sunday.
With
Jennifer Davis Page.
Tremendous music, events, and things that are going on with us. So thank y'all so much. Peace.
Special guest, Alejandra.
Let's talk some shit about
Richards. Yes. She's a chef in Tucson. We might have to go see her when we go down there.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, ready?
All right. It's a quick shout out to Beyonce and a shout out to the Southern Band one more time. Coming up to you next is Culinary Travels with Jennifer Davis Page and special guest Alejandra Richards, a chef based in Tucson.
Okay.
And by the time that's done, it's going to be time for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All good. No, I know we had 2 minutes on the back end, but if we didn't, he was using him to get out what he said, then perfect. Brother.
Hey, man.
Thank you, man. My pleasure. Anytime.
And welcome to Culinary
everything
Travels.
as always.
We would like
including
to
giving me
introduce you
shit.
today to an amazing chef
I'm
here in
like, I can
Tucson,
see if you
Chef
got
Alejandro
other French
Richards.
songwriters, but
She's the
that's
head
like
chef of the
everybody
I was-
knows.
and
I
that
was
one.
hyped. I was in my moment, and it
amazing
happens.
cookbooks called
It
It's like
happens.
saying you don't know
Friends.
Billie
Welcome,
Jean.
Chef.
Listen,
Hey,
I
Jennifer,
I know
thanks
some
for
people that
having
call
me.
Billie
You're
Jean
very
Thriller.
welcome. Tell
No, they wasn't
our
black, but that's beside the
listeners
point.
about these cookbooks. We have Cooking with Friends, and
But nah, man, it was, nah,
tell
for real.
us
I was feeling when I
like
was
how you
crying
got started on the first one.
so much that
Cooking
I
with
just
Friends,
forgot
the
the
first,
name.
the first
It
book
happens.
in a 4-part series is actually dedicated to my mom, who is from the island of Barbados. And we have a
Man,
lot
that's the thing. There's so many things. I just
recipes
found
that
out
I grew up
MLK
with
Day that
and,
Paz is black
made me
owned.
feel happy as a
Oh, yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
So that's how we
What?
started with the books.
See?
Tell me.
Down the street.
Was your
Yeah. As a
mom
matter of fact, you know the
wonderful
Pickle
cook?
Factory
My
on
mom was
14th.
an excellent
Pickle
cook, and
Factory
the
on
only
14th
person
Street in Van
probably
Buren.
that I know.
Okay.
Maybe
There
other
used to be a
people
pickle
know that
factory that
never
opened in
measured that thing.
1905. It closed like 3 or
She
4
would
years
have a
ago.
palm of
Long
this,
story
a
short,
pinch of that, and I'm like, well,
construction
how does
group
that work? Because your
Roasted
palm is bigger than
Carlos
mine, so how does that work?
had got a
But
government
I
grant
used to watch in
and
awe
they're
and watch her,
building
make
spaces
her recipes.
as long
you know,
as the people who are using the
I
spaces are
guess
doing
I should
something in the
say.
community.
How many
I gotta see if they have any more spots
siblings did you
available.
have? How many
But
did
bro,
mom raise?
I got a 3,000
There
square
are
foot
11 of us in total, me being the
co-working
last of the
space,
crew, 6 from my
performance
mother's
venue
side, and
that
the
also
rest
has
from my father's side.
offices and a rehearsal
And
space that I'm getting built.
were the
that is
others
around the
in the
corner from where
family?
y'all
Were
at.
they all? Did they all
So we gonna
touch
be doing
on
a lot of
cooking?
work.
Did they all enjoy
Listen,
being in the kitchen?
that's
They are all better than me.
like we're trying, like well, all the
That's
property
right.
that's there, and with that being with the historical, with that being the
So
historical
now,
black area.
are
I'm trying
they
to keep
in
that
the
area
game,
black as
or do
possible.
they just cook for
Y'all-
their families?
y'all
Are
right
they
down the
chefs
street
as
from
well?
Concierge.
No, ma'am. They
This
just cook
game
for,
that
they
I'm
just
doing,
cook for their families.
the after party is at
But,
Concierge.
in my family,
So like,
the joy
Yeah,
of
I'm trying to
cooking
connect.
Oh, that reminds me
with
before.
family and
So,
tradition
can
is
you stick around after the live show for
Did
about
any
15
of
minutes? So,
them
what we've been doing on
contribute
YouTube is we
any
do something
recipes
called the
to
after
your
show
Cool.
for about 15 minutes,
I
and
had
whoever
to
the
ask
guest was that
questions
week,
like, hey, how do you do
whoever the host
this?
was,
And
y'all
how
just
do you
talk
do
about
that?
something
And
maybe that you couldn't get to
them
in the live
just like
show.
my
Okay.
brother,
That ain't gonna be a problem.
So
And then we put that up, and we've been getting a few hits on that. So,
That'll work.
And a pinch of that.
So keep that in mind. So if maybe there's something with future guests that you wanted to get in, but you couldn't, you can save that for the after show.
Duly noted. Yeah.
So that
That'll
people
definitely work.
understand it in the same way that you do.
And I'm
Tell
saying
me why
15,
you
but you could
decided
go
to,
longer than that.
Oh,
if
And it may. Next month I have Nick West.
Oh, cool. We haven't seen her in a minute. Wait a minute, because she's in LA now, right?
She's
so
here?
there's a
Oh, she-
section,
so she still comes back and forth?
She's here
you know,
and
just like any
LA
other recipe, when you look at a
and
recipe
Georgia,
and
and I
you
don't
follow the
mean the
recipe,
state.
you want to put your
The country?
your spin and move on it. So the recipes that
Well,
are
she's
in the
like
book that are
Tbilisi?
dedicated to her are actually her recipes and her spin on
That's where I'll be
the
from.
recipes of
So,
home.
That must have been
Okay.
great fun testing all of those
I won't say
recipes
no
out.
more.
How many do you have in your
I ain't trying to tell nobody business.
Do you have in
But
There are 194
yeah, she's
pages
got
and
a
there's
lot of
100
good things going on.
recipes.
So I'm
And
excited
are
to have her in.
they
And we
Okay.
may
everything from appetizers to
we may
Everything
do
from appetizers
do early
to
versus live.
desserts.
But
And
just they don't
a lot of them are
understand.
traditional
yeah, we
things
can
that you will
pre-tape
see
it
apart
if we
from
need
that one
I
specific
just
section
need
that
some
is from the
notice.
Caribbean.
Oh, of
But you'll
course.
see a
Of course.
twist on regular things.
And we
that
could
you
pre-tape
cook
the
in the
after
kitchen
show
now.
part 2.
Now, I
So
was
during
down
the live
years
shows, we just
ago,
do it
and
live
I fell in
right
love
after the
with
show. So
flying
we'll stop
fish.
Yes.
Do you
the
have
first
any
the live show video.
wonderful
And then,
recipes?
Yeah,
Is
great.
flying fish in this
Cool.
book?
It sure is.
So if y'all watching, y'all want to see some more, stay tuned.
It's cuckoo and flying fish. And to
Yeah.
answer your question, yes, the fish do fly.
Now, cuckoo, tell me
Wait,
what
what?
that is.
So
Right.
Cuckoo is made from meal and is kind of meal and okras. And as you know,
Can't
there's
mess
a
with
really
the
slimy consistency of
Really?
okras.
I'm a
and
Louisiana girl, so I know okra. Yeah.
I'm about to say.
So it's a
Southern
combination
made
of
me
meal
like
and
okra.
okra.
I had no
if you're
choice.
from the
Yeah,
Latinx
red beans.
community,
Bro,
you would
I ain't gonna lie. Our
can't
kitchen
get
was one of the best spots we ever had. We had
Okay.
red beans and
Now,
rice,
tell me
fried chicken, and it
how
was
long
done
did
right.
it
Like
take
people who were in the
you
kitchen
to-
had teeth missing, so
from
you
the
knew
day you
before.
decided
yeah.
that you were going to do
Like,
this cookbook?
Oh
How
my
long
god!
was that process?
But then they had it gated off. Like you could,
like I said,
you had to
when
get your
you're- when
card to
you're
get
trying
in,
to
and there was
make a
no way
recipe
to
with a
sneak
palm
in
of this
unless you
and
were
pinch of
literally
that
the
and,
size of a pencil
translate them.
because
So
they
the
had
first
the
book
gate
took
up.
me
You kind
actually
of feel
4
like you were
months.
eating in jail.
That
Oh,
doesn't sound
I mean,
like a long
and
time.
it
I
was
was
gate, and
expecting
you
you
had
to
the
tell me
door, and it was
took a
just
year.
the
Yeah,
only
4
exit out,
months
and
in
they had
the
the the little turnstile joint, like you get on the subway, just to get in. Like if your card wasn't working,
And you had to, out of the 100
God bless
recipes, you
Oh, wait a minute,
tested
you're talking about the
each and
mess hall.
every
I'm talking about the mess hall.
single one.
Oh, wow.
Down there hall. Yeah, I mean, but they had like crawfish etouffee, shrimp etouffee. Like it was on point. There was never a time where
So where is Southern again?
Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
That's
About 10 minutes.
Oh,
About
yeah.
10 minutes from
Now tell
LSU.
me about
Okay.
book three.
We had our own
This is Louisiana. I might
This is one.
I might
Okay.
start with
Cooking with
New
friends.
Orleans.
All right.
New Orleans is like-
Desserts are better
New Orleans was where I
with
went
friends,
first.
and then
The first thing I rode the
dessert
train
from bacon
from Michigan
to ice cream
to New Orleans.
mousse
Okay.
to
That was like
just
32 hours.
everything that is a dessert.
Not too
With
bad.
a, with a,
Want
yeah,
to have
I had a bit of a
it.
layover in Chicago. It was all good. I wasn't rushing. I was rushing to get out of Saginaw. But other than that,
light and
it was
airy
good.
stuff.
Normally you don't get shot at on the train.
Semi-healthy. I can't.
But no, I got off and I got off when I was in New Orleans.
You know, I just,
First thing I
just share
remember
the love of
was the
food,
humidity.
with you.
Like the
And
humidity
I
was
would
hanging on me
decide
like
to
this.
consult your doctor,
Oh,
please.
wow.
Yeah. Like it is not a game.
Actually, no. Well, if it's like Florida, then
No. Florida is relaxing compared to Louisiana. When people refer to the term,
So now,
Florida's bad.
books,
Don't get me wrong.
uh,
But like when
good
people refer to
for
the term
those new
slave heat,
brides that don't know their way around
like
the
the
kitchen.
heat was
I mean,
on
can
you,
they
like your backpack was on you
follow
walking to class.
pretty efficiently
wow.
You took like
and
2
get the
showers a
recipe
day was
right?
probably the
Yeah,
minimum.
you just say a cricket could make
Wow.
these recipes. If you,
Well, like
if
when
you
it's
miss
hot,
anything in the
man.
recipe, they're so simple the way
My
they
first
they're written
Thanksgiving,
out. Even if you
I
miss
actually
an
stayed
ingredient,
down,
even if you don't have an
and it was
ingredient
like
and you don't feel like
85,
running outside
87. We
and
played
getting it,
basketball
you'll
outside
still
in
get the
shorts,
recipe right.
and then we
And
had
the other thing
gumbo
that
for
we did
Thanksgiving.
that was really
Bruh.
important to us is that we made the
Midwest kid, I'm like, sign me up.
natural.
You mean I don't have to have snow?
With our cell phones.
Like,
Rather than
like
taking
what?
professional
What won't
pictures,
sneak back
because
up
no
on
one
you
can
when you think it's
intimidate
gone?
by the
Right.
way you see it. When you
Like,
see
what you
it,
gotta deal
want
with?
to say,
Hurricane.
"Ooh, I can do
Okay,
that."
but we inland,
And just
right?
go
And
at
so I
it.
ain't got to deal with a
It
whole
doesn't
lot
have
of
to
Baton
look
Rouge.
like my picture.
But okay,
As
so I
long
just
as
go
you
to Baton.
get
Okay,
to it
that was my
and
Well,
plan.
then you're above water.
then it's right.
Man,
All right.
please.
Tell me
And
this.
then
I have
like,
a
I'm 18. I'm an 18-year-old
wonderful
boy, fresh out of high school.
question that I
And you
like to
tell me
ask
45 minutes
my
away from my
friends that are
university,
chefs,
which already
and
has a ton of
it's
beautiful,
a question
amazing,
that
intelligent,
so I can
gorgeous
get
black
to know you a
women.
little better. And
That
I
there is
ask
a school in New
four
Orleans
people,
called
you're inviting
Xavier
four
where it's the
people
same
together.
thing, but the woman to male ratio is 20 to 1.
Past to present. Who would
When I
they
tell
be?
you I spent every
And
weekend in New
why you would
Orleans.
invite them, and what would
Chris, you just got back. I know. What you doing?
I think the
Mind
first
your
person
business.
would be my mom.
Nah, it was. I mean, it was dope just to be around so many of my own
she would totally
people.
laugh at me.
From
if
preschool
I
to
told her
8th
that
grade, I
was
went
cooking,
to
because, like I said, I would
traditional
never spend any
schools, like
time
a
in the
school for the
kitchen, so she would
academically
totally
gifted and
laugh at me.
talented.
She probably
There
wouldn't
wasn't a
come
lot
to
of us
the
there,
table.
but those of us who were, we were towards the top.
Then there was my
Then I had
school
high
teacher,
school, and there was
Sunday
3,000 people in my high school,
She believed in
and
me,
16 of them
always,
were white,
you know,
and they were
my
either
mom
teachers
told me
or
that
janitors.
No matter what it is,
So I got used to being around my own. I'm like, oh hell yeah, let's do this.
and trust
And
her.
then got to go to, and then it was like,
there
yo,
was Barbara
and
Smith,
then
who
I was
also
always
my
brought up since
principal
like
in
6th or
school,
7th grade.
one
So
of
on the
things that happened
HBCUs,
when I
the
went to high school
tournaments,
and-
the bands and everything. I was the kid with the knees at
is that
90
if you were
degrees
being
doing the
bullied
back
for
bends. Like,
something, you would ask
it
for
was
the
real.
person
Our
that
high
was
school was,
bullying you. So
it
I
was,
would
the
think,
high school band was like a
Barbara
black
Smith
band.
and
So
just want to show her,
I got the
that,
Southern,
you know,
it was like, I was like
myself,
Oprah and Color Purple, Sophia Home.
Next
Yeah,
person would be my
man,
sister.
like,
We've got some,
it's like
we've got
Wakanda,
some
if Wakanda had a university, it is, if Wakanda had a university, but a horrible budget, that is damn near every HBCU.
Because it's a staple.
Everybody has to deal with being broke, because most of us are already broke in the first place.
On Saturday morning.
A lot of the schools, depending if they don't get funding from, you know, alumnus, they don't have money coming in.
Is that because they're state schools and the states just screw them over? Or?
In part, a huge part of that, yes. But a
you
lot
go
of it
around the
was
neighborhood
you
all week long.
get
telling
used to
them, you know,
making
I
do.
got sheep, I got
So,
cow, I
but
got
you have
pigs. This is what we
people
gonna do on weekends.
not only
Make
you have a
sure
sense
he
of
come, he
history,
chop.
because a lot of
And
people
he
were
set it out.
growing up, you
Engage
don't
your
have any identity
And
with
so
who you are.
from that
And then
point, you get,
you're meeting
put it in
kids
chunks,
who already have
put it
read,
in the intestine
you know,
of
the
pig,
autobiography
take
of
it out,
Malcolm
you
X,
clean it out, and you
saw
refill
the
it with,
spoon set at the
potato.
door
Now, is that
as
the same
freshmen.
thing as chitlins?
Like I read Malcolm X.
In high school.
Yeah.
Not so
Yeah,
much.
I mean, and just
similar
doing it.
part of
So it's like,
the pig, but not the
oh,
same thing.
Okay.
And the
okay.
cells will
So
be the
it's
parts of
I got a lot of my
like
education
prickly with,
outside of
cucumber
school growing
and
up.
salt and pepper.
And so there are a lot of things that once I got
peppers.
to college,
And
kids
so,
were discussing
and for
that I had
dessert,
known. But
definitely
then it was
coconut
other
bread.
things, and
Coconut
it
bread
was
is
just
one of
like,
the things that always made me you feel at home.
Because like
You know,
there's a northern
as kids, you
arrogance,
would, go
especially
get
when
the
I was growing
coconut
up, that you okay,
cut the
I know
coconut
everything. I'm in this, I'm in that, or
We're
whatever.
getting natural
And you,
coconuts from
man,
the tree.
there is
Not yet,
nothing,
market.
especially with having grandparents from the South.
Yes,
There is
I'm
nothing like
high
a
in the
southern
tree,
humbling
knocking
from
the
a black
coconut
person.
down.
And when I
skim
tell you,
the
I absolutely
coconut, which is
loved
the
it.
process of
And
pulling the
just
outside off.
that is the thing that just
Cracking the
kept me on my
coconut,
heels. Like, okay, there's
digging
always
the
more to
inside
learn,
out,
but
drinking
there's
the
always
water,
somebody that knows more than
breaking the
you.
coconut, and
So
then
watch how you
eating the
carry
There's
yourself.
nothing better.
But at the same
And
time,
Absolutely
don't be
nothing
overly
better.
impressed
When
with
I was a
anybody just because
child,
they got something.
one of the favorite desserts
Most
was
people can work
my
for the
grandmother would
100%
make
the same way
coconut
you did.
cakes.
And so that
And she would
fed into
have
my
me
mentality where I came from in
take,
Saginaw.
she
Because
had a
like,
grinder there.
I don't give a
and
damn
she
what your
would take
name brand
the
city
fresh
is called.
coconuts,
Real
and we would
recognizes
actually
real, then
grind
I
it
know
and
great
I mean,
people and I
yes.
know not great.
And
So
then later on in
being at
life,
an
as I went
HBCU
and got one out of the
further
bag,
just
and wondered why the
ingrained
cake
that.
didn't taste the
And
same. I
I'm forever
said,
grateful.
that's
There's
exactly,
so many great things
why.
about it.
Tell our listeners
And
how
that ain't
they
even
can
including Saturday
purchase your
nights when you
book
got a home game.
and give them your
I
web
mean,
address, please.
I
So just
worked
as the
in-
book, we try to keep things simple.
I
So we
worked
go to
in
Facebook,
radio,
you go to
so
the Thai Kitchen,
football
TIP
or
Kitchen.
the club was
And
a
all the
constant.
links to the
Like,
books,
so
all the links, all the information
I-
about the books, the stories
I
about my
definitely
family, and the
got
recipes are all sitting right
much
there.
of the
It's
luxury of
Thai
much of the
kitchen.
parties.
And
And
do you have
it
a
wasn't
telephone
like I
number
was
or an email address you'd
anybody
like to share?
but
Sure, it's
being
the Thai
a
Kitchen at
intern.
gmail.com.
Well, that's
kind of
easy
had a
enough.
little bit of, you know,
I
when you
can't
walk
thank
up to
you
the
enough
club,
for sitting
you
at the
don't
table
really
with me
look
and
at
sharing
anybody. You
all
just
of
walk
these
on
wonderful
in, it's like,
stories.
Yeah.
Culinary
who
Travels
is? Little do they
welcomes
know I'm
you
driving
back
a
at
big
our
old
table
black
anytime.
radio van, you know what I'm saying? But
Always wanted to tell our listeners how important
definitely
it is to
experiences and cachet when it
be at the
comes to that.
table
Yeah.
with family and friends. You know, whenever we
I
go
definitely
into
appreciate it, and I've
either
tried
the
to go
Sunday
down
dinner or
for
Wednesday dinner, and
homecoming,
Mom
but
is in the
Tallahassee
kitchen.
is an expensive
Yes,
airport.
where
Yes,
we
it is.
all
So,
gathered.
yes.
We're all gathered
But
right
right,
there in the kitchen, and
It's hard to get in.
I want
But-
to
Well,
again
actually, I
thank
interned at a
you.
radio station
I
in
want to
Louisville,
tell
Kentucky. I
all of
wasn't
our
able to intern
listeners
while
to
I was
make
in school.
sure
And did
that
you know
you
Kentucky
have
has a
a
HBCU?
special meal
I
with
went
someone
to
every
Kentucky State.
day. That's
Wow.
really
Yeah, man.
my
A lot
tagline.
of people from Michigan, Detroit in particular.
That's how
That's
I
where they
feel,
would end up
because
going to
if you
school.
share a meal,
Like one of their
it's
rivals
it's
was
priceless.
in
Absolutely.
Ohio, Central
And
State
you get a
University.
chance
Central
to
State is like right down the street from
Converse and
Wilberforce. They
commune
got two
and
HBCUs.
get to like each other. You
How much
you
time?
know,
get
Is
to like
it-
each other again, huh?
yes, because you
Oh,
can love
6.
somebody and not like them.
It's 6. Are we off? Or
Well,
we-
food
Yeah, you're
brings
gonna-
that
you're
all
gonna
together.
just say thank you to
Food
Jennifer
will
and
bring
close
that
out the
all
show.
together.
Yes.
And again,
I mean, you could thank your guest too.
Thank you again, Chef Alejandro Richards, and thank you to Jennifer Davis Page for the culinary travel segment. I also want to thank Freshmaker from Cash Mile coming through, and most importantly, I want to thank you for supporting the show, for supporting Desert Soul Media and Radio Phoenix, and most importantly, supporting the culture. Stay black, stay beautiful. Until next month.
Okay. So let me see.
And now we close out with "I'm Your Baby Tonight" from Whitney Houston.
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny.
I hope you know that that's not.
He knows.
Yes,
man.
that's why I said it.
Okay, I just want to make sure because you can't tell with your facial expression.
He
I'm
knows.
laughing. That means I'm joking.
Okay. You seem dead serious.
Man, come on now. I said it just for you to give me that face you gave me. Like, hold on.
Maybe it's. I'm a little overly sensitive about Whitney because she's from Jersey. Right, get Whitney right, damn it.
Nah, man. But nah, because I was tripping the first time I found out that Dolly Parton actually originally wrote the song.
Oh, you didn't know?
The Phoenix
I was, bro, I was what, 11? Not when did the Bodyguard come out?
92.
Yeah, I was 11.
Okay.
No, I ain't know. Matter of fact, I think the first time I learned about songs using samples was Tupac "So Many Tears" when he sampled Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
And then the thing, like, bro, okay, just to make sure I'm not crazy. Have you heard or do you remember the Key of Z remix to "So Many Tears"? Okay, at the time the song came out, you know, because it was during the time when remixes were starting to be a big thing in hip hop. And, you know, maxi singles in the early 90s, that was the move. Then there was maxi CDs.
Mhm.
There was one of the remixes that was on there. They did the dun, 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 but then he had sisters doing the background, and they were like, "I shed so many tears," and then towards the end of the song, oh, what is the baby, baby, don't cry,
Okay.
baby, baby, dry your eyes for me. They came in singing that at the end. I heard that on a radio station when I was in, because So Many Tears came out. It was Me Against the World, so that'd have been
Okay.
mid 90s, 96, 97. I heard that on a radio station in Indianapolis and made my dad pull the car over.
Wow.
I was like, Dad, and then turn it up and I was just listening to it because I hadn't heard it anywhere else and I had to track it down. But now if you go on like Apple Music or whatever,
Mhm.
you can't find it. The only spot I've ever found it is on YouTube.
Hmm. That sounds familiar too.
Yeah. Like once you hear it, you be like, I've heard this before.
I don't remember. Mm.
I bet you Tashima know. bet
She
you.
probably do. She's like a walking jukebox.
Yes. Man, Tashima's so dope, bro.
She'll like tell you like, oh, it was on this album and it came out on this
Yep.
label.
So Tashima has a show, actually comes on before this show
I
called
didn't know that.
Don't Disturb This Groove. And
Great name.
yeah, bro, 80s, 90s, aughts. If it's good music, she got it and can talk about it and knows about it.
Tashima.
Man. All right, so I know you said we were going to do.
Well, I'm just give me 1 second.
Oh no, I was just going to ask since we're still live if you just wanted to keep it going, or do you want to?
No, we're gonna separate.
Okay, so we're gonna separate it, y'all. Just
So
stay tuned.
say goodbye.
Listen, thank y'all for tuning in. Look forward to doing it next month. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Please feel free to spread the word about it. Catch us out, and even when I'm not here, you still show up because we got different shows at the same time. Thank you for your support. And shout out to everybody in Africa that we didn't know was watching the show because somebody ain't tell us until now. But we ain't going to point nobody out in particular. But for y'all, have a great one.
And then